The Man Under the Streetlamp. In a small coastal town in northern Norway, near Tromsø, there is a narrow road locals call Dead Curve. In 2011, a delivery driver named Jonas Eikram reported something so disturbing that the police refused to file it as a normal incident. This is the story Jonas later described. And it has never been publicly shared before. It was late November, almost midnight, and the road was covered in thin ice. Jonas was driving home after dropping off packages near the harbor. Dead Curve had only one street lamp, an old metal one that flickered constantly and cast a sickly yellow glow. As he approached the lamp, he saw a tall man standing directly beneath it. At first, Jonas assumed it was a drunk fisherman heading home. But as his headlights hit the man, Jonas slammed the brakes. The figure didn't cast a shadow. The man stood perfectly still. Head tilted slightly down, arms stiff at his sides. He wore a long black raincoat, boots covered in seawater, and an old fisherman's hat pulled over his eyes. But what froze Jonas wasn't the clothes, it was the fact that the man's feet weren't touching the ground. His boots hung about 5 centimeters above the road, swaying slightly as if moved by a breeze. But the air was dead still. Jonas planned to drive around him, but then the figure slowly lifted his head. Under the hat were no eyes. Just smooth, pale skin where the eyes should have been. Stretched tight and waxy like wet paper. The mouth, however, was visible. And it began to move. Not speaking. Not breathing. Just opening too wide, stretching as if the jaw were unhinging. Jonas' ears started ringing. The street lamp flickered violently. Then the man's jaw snapped shut. The figure lifted one foot, then another, and started walking toward Jonas. Still floating, his boots never touching the road. His movement was wrong. Too smooth. Too steady. Like he was being pulled on an invisible rope. Jonas threw the car in reverse, tires skidding on the ice. But the figure moved faster, reaching the hood within seconds. When Jonas tried to scream, no sound came out. The man leaned forward. His eyeless face pressed against the driver's side window. The skin around where the eyes should have been began to bulge, as if something underneath was pressing outward, trying to escape. The window began to frost over from the outside. Jonas finally found his voice and screamed. The headlights flickered. The street lamp went dark. When the lamp flicked back on 2 seconds later, the man was gone. No footprints. No fog. No sign of anything ever being there. Except for one thing, on the frosted part of the glass, there was a single word traced by a finger, look. Jonas never used that road again. And a year later, a local old man told him, you saw him. The man who stands under the lamp. He waits for people who drive alone. My father saw him in 1960. My son saw him in 1989. And every time, he gets closer. To this day, drivers near Dead Curve say that sometimes, late at night, the street lamp flickers. And for just a moment, a tall man hangs beneath it, feet above the ground, waiting.